Nobody is better at eliminating schools than Donald Trump, and if he had filled out a bracket, it would be the most perfect bracket the world has ever seen.
First of all, he used the word beautiful 6 times. She's really beautiful, she's beautiful, she's really beautiful. So he can't...
needs a thesaurus.
Yes. What?
He needs a thesaurus.
Yes, he needs a thesaurus, get some new words. But besides that, it's like, he's such a looksist, too, you know? Besides the fact, first of all, he can't believe that a beautiful girl like that would not be on his team. That's how narcissistic he is.
People don't believe he's on his team. He's a fake conservative.
Well, I don't know what he is. Psychotic, psychopath,
Probably.
whatever.
Probably.
But he also is obsessed with looks. That's why almost at the age of 80, he's still bleaching his hair blonde. He, you know, like a boy band. He's like orange face, you know? It's like, how do I look? Listen, we're all like that. I'm also like that. We all want to look good. But that's his thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's about beauty, looksism, sexism. She's got to be pretty. Also, by the way, Taylor Swift is not a conservative. I've seen some of her.
Well, she endorsed Biden
she
in
endorsed
2020.
Biden. Yeah.
The thing for me that was missing was, isn't she also one of the most successful entertainers in the world?
Nobody saw this duo coming. But when Jimmy Kimmel and Taylor Swift teamed up, Trump didn't stand a chance. One's a late-night legend with razor-sharp wit. The other's a pop powerhouse who can ruin reputations with just one lyric. Together, total annihilation. Kimmel launched jokes like heat-seeking missiles, while Taylor, the queen of clever digs, spun her words into Trump's ultimate nightmare. The moment went viral, MAGA was in shambles, Twitter went wild, and somewhere in Florida, a very orange man was angrily typing in all caps. This wasn't just a roast. It was a cultural...
Spent a lot of the day yesterday at the Kennedy Center in his new and ridiculous capacity as their chairman of the board. The Kennedy Center, if you don't know, is a venue. It's a performing arts center. They have shows, they give out awards, they give out honors, they have concerts, etc. And the president of the United States is in charge of appointing the board of the Kennedy Center. So last month, Trump kicked most everyone off the board and replaced them with a crew of his cronies. And then he had the cronies elect him CEO of the Kennedy Center. And now he's focused on the important work of making sure liberals don't ever set foot in the place.
Before we keep going, smash that like button and hit subscribe. You're not going to want to miss what's next. That late-night stage has seen its fair share of epic takedowns. But this one, it had a different kind of electricity. Kimmel, a pro at roasting Trump, didn't even need a warm-up. He's been perfecting this act for years. From clowning on Trump's legal disasters to dragging his weird fast food fetish. Kimmel's never pulled punches. But this time, he wasn't alone. Taylor Swift, once America's quiet darling, transformed into a fearless political powerhouse and grabbed the mic in a way...
Trump was at the game. He got a big thrill because some of the crowd booed Taylor Swift when they put her up on the Jumbotron, which, of course, made Harry Conman Sr. very happy. He posted 3 times about this. After the game, he wrote, "The only one that had a tougher night than the Chiefs was Taylor Swift. She got booed out of the stadium. MAGA is very unforgiving." Well, she didn't get booed out of the stadium. Unlike you, she stayed for the whole game. And it was the Eagles fans who were booing her. But you're right. It's all about you. It's always all... Trump's just jealous of Taylor Swift because she has more followers and more money and no kids than he does.
No one expected. This wasn't some cryptic lyric or a neatly filtered Instagram caption. No, this was gloves off, direct and undeniable. It had been building for a while. Trump's past digs at her, his patronizing comments, and his constant craving for approval from stars like Swift had already laid the groundwork. So when Taylor finally spoke out, she did it with laser precision. This wasn't just a pop star speaking her mind. This was personal. The tension simmered over time. Jimmy Kimmel had been laying the bricks for months, cracking jokes about Trump's legal drama and his latest unhinged speeches.
I really hope it actually doesn't. But you know what? Donald Trump likes my music 25% less.
Meanwhile, Swift had been subtly clapping back at politicians who tried to co-opt her image for their own agendas. It was only a matter of time before these two worlds collided. Maybe it was Trump's tone-deaf comment about saving pop stars from the so-called radical left. Maybe it was yet another sad attempt to pander to fans who had already left him behind. Either way, the fuse was lit, and when it blew, the internet felt it. Kimmel, ever the strategist, knew exactly how to kick things off. His monologue opened with his signature grin, sarcastic, sharp, perfectly timed. But then came the pivot.
Who we can thank for the rain? President Trump. He finally turned the sprinklers on and we're enjoying. We have a very crazy person running our country right now. Like standing in the intersection loudly talking to himself crazy.
A jab at Trump's embarrassing efforts to link himself to Hollywood, his bizarre claims of influencing Swift's career, and his delusion that he'd helped shape pop culture. Then came Taylor. Calm, composed, letting facts do the heavy lifting. What made it so powerful? The sheer absurdity of it all. Here was a man who'd spent years trying and failing to connect with young voters, now publicly dismantled by the very generation he thought he could win over. Swift didn't shout. She didn't need dramatic takedowns. She let Trump's own track record speak for itself. And Kimmel? He hit each note with surgical precision, his punchlines landing hard and fast.
Trump, I know he ran saying he's going to lower prices, make everybody rich. It's not like he promised he would do it all on day one.
Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We'll do that. I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. On day one, I will begin to reverse the disastrous effects of Biden's inflation. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again.
Well, as Taylor would say, haters gonna hate, 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 hate. And no one has more hate, 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 hate than Donald Trump's team, which is now pledging a holy war against Taylor Swift. Oh, come on. You can't have a holy war against an actual angel. Taylor is a being of pure light and goodness sent from heaven to write devastatingly relatable breakup songs.
By the end, the message was loud and clear, without either of them having to raise their voices. The segment wrapped with nothing left unsaid. This wasn't just another celebrity roast, it was a cultural moment. Humor, truth, and star power collided to create something unstoppable. And the best part? It was only the beginning. The timing couldn't have been more perfect. Kimmel, the undisputed maestro of late-night roasts, kicked things off with his trademark style, smooth banter, a few harmless digs, and that knowing smirk that signaled sharper lines were on the way. Swift, relaxed and composed, played along effortlessly at first, engaging in the light fun. But then the energy shifted. What began as a playful back and forth about music, media, and the ridiculousness of modern politics quickly morphed into a masterclass in the art of the takedown. Kimmel led the charge with his razor-sharp wit, taking jabs at Trump's insatiable need for attention. But Swift wasn't there just for laughs.
Donald Trump likes my music 25% less.
She came to deliver truth bombs with poise and precision that made each line land with maximum impact. Together, they were a lethal duo. Kimmel's rapid-fire humor kept the pace fast and sharp, while Swift's calm, calculated critiques of Trump, his pandering, his contradictions, his desperate grasp at cultural relevance, cut straight to the core. No yelling, no theatrics. Just facts, delivered in the most entertaining way possible. And that contrast, that was the beauty of it. Kimmel, relentless and biting, played the satirist. Swift, ever the tactician, wielded her words like a scalpel. Her calm confidence made her jabs sting even more. The audience, both in studio and at home, was completely captivated. Swift, known for decoding and delivering subtle shade, caught every nuance. Kimmel's loyal viewers ate up another chapter of his ongoing roast of Trump. Even casual watchers couldn't help but be pulled in. This wasn't just TV, it was a cultural reset unfolding live. And Trump, oh, he was going to despise every second of it. Kimmel didn't pull punches, he never does. With his trademark smirk, he dove into Trump's ocean of absurdities, nailing punchline after punchline.
Trump Gaza, #1.
Did I just see men with beards and bikinis? Even Kim Jong-un is like, that's a little much, you know? That video, it's a perfect example of who Donald Trump is. He doesn't think about the death or the suffering. He doesn't care about the people who've been killed or held hostage or don't have homes. What does he care about? Building hotels on that. There is no problem that can't easily be solved with a real estate development named after him.
He mocked the lawsuits, the rage-fueled all-caps rants, the ego trips disguised as statements. It was the kind of roast that made you laugh out loud, and then cringe with second-hand embarrassment. Then, as the laughter began to settle, Swift stepped in. No theatrics. No over-the-top delivery. Just sharp, surgical commentary. Her style wasn't wild and comedic like Kimmel's. It was precise and unflinching. Her remarks landed with quiet force, exposing Trump's desperate quest for relevance in spaces that had long outgrown him. The crowd felt it instantly. This wasn't just entertainment, it was a reckoning, and everyone knew it. But the most devastating moment of the night wasn't tied to any single joke. It was the clash in delivery styles. Kimmel's biting sarcasm collided with Swift's effortless composure, creating a takedown so precise and ruthless it left the audience speechless.
He said that if you're a gay couple, or even if you look like a gay couple, you should be allowed to be kicked out of a restaurant. It's really basic human rights, and it's right and wrong at this point, and I can't see another.
1 minute, the crowd was roaring at Kimmel's exaggerated impression of Trump defending himself in court. The next, they were stunned into silence as Swift, cool and collected, calmly exposed how certain powerful figures say whatever they think their audience wants to hear. No shouting, no rage, just a quiet, undeniable truth. And that's what made it hurt more than usual. Trump has always sought approval from celebrities, from the music world, from Hollywood, the very circles he once tried to belong to but never truly could. He wanted to be the insider, the one stars whispered about with admiration, invited to every party. But the truth? The industry had moved on. And now, in front of millions, two of entertainment's most powerful voices had made that reality unmistakably clear. The internet didn't wait. The moment the clip dropped online, it exploded. Swifties, late-night fans, and anyone with a sense of humor mobilized like a digital army. Within minutes, Twitter was flooded with memes. Old tweets, cringe-worthy interviews, and embarrassing moments from the past resurfaced like clockwork.
Imagine if we came to you and said, hey, we've got this idea that we could halve the number of people that come to you next tour.
And the other thing, just from a security
So you
standpoint,
think
Taylor Swift comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. I'm sad that I didn't 2 years ago, but I can't change that. I'm saying right now that this is something that I know is right, and you guys, I need to be on the right side of history, and if he doesn't win, then at least I.
Of course, Trump responded. But the internet had already sprinted ahead. As soon as his rant went live, Swift flipped it, transforming his words into a chaotic, auto-tuned techno remix. Yes, there's plenty of weird stuff on the internet, especially thanks to AI. But this remix was posted on the official social media accounts of the President of the United States. Meme pages had a field day, syncing Swift's remix with classic Vine sound effects and over-the-top reality TV music. The message was loud and clear, challenging both Taylor Swift and late-night comedy. A colossal misstep. This wasn't just a roast, it was a cultural reckoning. And Trump was learning in real time that some fights just aren't worth picking. It all began the usual way, an unhinged, all-caps rant on Truth Social, so riddled with exclamation marks it looked like he was furiously jabbing his phone with both thumbs. Within minutes, the meltdown was in full swing, a chaotic, rambling tirade against overrated Jimmy Kimmel and ungrateful Taylor Swift. It was a punctuation apocalypse, accusing them of being pawns of the radical left, while somehow also dismissing them as irrelevant. The logic? Non-existent. The desperation? Obvious. Then came the classic Trump routine: discredit, demean, deflect. He unloaded every recycled insult in his bag of tricks. Kimmel was suddenly a failed host, never mind his top-rated late-night show. Swift, labeled talentless, despite being the artist of the decade. Taylor Swift dared to talk politics? Oh no. She told fans to vote Democrat, not for Marsha Blackburn. Trump's response? Marsha's doing great. Taylor probably knows nothing about her. And now, I like her music 25% less. A bizarrely precise downgrade. As for Kimmel, Trump launched into a petty anecdote. He used to beg me to come on his show, Trump claimed. Now he calls us doofuses in flat-brimmed hats. The insult was weak, the bitterness unmistakable. He even dragged out the tired has-been label, laughably directed at a woman whose global tour sold out in minutes. And of course, he made a point of saying he never liked her music anyway. Because clearly, that's what the world needed clarity on. Naturally, he didn't stop there. In peak Trump fashion, he flipped the script. Suddenly, he was the victim, attacked by elitist out-of-touch celebrities. He twisted Swift's comments into something nasty, as if she'd stormed a stage and personally threatened to ban him from Mar-a-Lago brunches. And then came the paranoia. Was this a deep state plot? Was Biden now pulling the strings of the music industry? Were the Grammys rigged? The conspiracy train was full steam ahead. The wildest part? He wanted this. For years, Trump craved celebrity approval. He longed for Hollywood's validation, idolized the very pop stars now roasting him for laughs. He spent decades name-dropping A-listers, cozying up to musicians, showing up to events like an overexcited wedding crasher. Now he's fuming on Truth Social. This morning he posted, "I hate Taylor Swift." The post came 5 days after Swift endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris following the recent debate. She told her 283 million followers that Kamala and Tim Walz had her vote. Not exactly how Trump wanted to start his Monday. When he mentions Britney, he's referring to Brittany Mahomes, the wife of NFL star Patrick Mahomes. She reportedly liked a post supporting Trump, which sparked a lot of online chatter. Despite the buzz, Britney and Taylor Swift, who are known to be close, were recently seen hugging and enjoying themselves at the US Open. That image made waves, but let's not forget, just like Taylor and Britney, many people have friends across the political spectrum. It's unlikely Taylor is too concerned about losing fans over this. She's taken political stances before and remained immensely popular. At one point, even Trump seemed to like Swift, or at least pretended to. But now, she's publicly taking aim at him, and all he can do is shout into the void. The difference is, Swift isn't just another celebrity criticizing Trump, she's a force. Her influence stretches beyond trending tweets or late-night jokes. She commands a digital army that can sway elections, cancel careers, and dismantle misinformation with remarkable speed. Trump isn't just feuding with a pop star. He's battling the wrong one. And judging by his reaction, he knows it. This is why he keeps losing. Trump may be a master of political theater, but in the arena of pop culture, he's outmatched. He thrives on chaos, rallies filled with red hats and nonstop news coverage. But when it comes to culture, music, film, comedy, and social media, he's in over his head. Now, joining us is CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister, who's been fearlessly covering this political shift. As she points out, this isn't Taylor's first political move. She endorsed Biden and Harris back in 2020. The real surprise is that she made an endorsement at all this time, after months of speculation about whether one of the world's biggest stars would speak up. This is, so far, the most high-profile celebrity endorsement for the vice president. Earlier today, Trump was asked on Fox News about Swift's endorsement. Here's what he had to say. "I actually like Mrs. Mahomes more, to tell you the truth. She's a big Trump fan. I was never a Taylor Swift fan. It was just a matter of time." The irony? People genuinely like Taylor Swift. They enjoy Jimmy Kimmel's monologues. They choose to engage with late-night comedy, viral content, and music that means something. And no matter how hard Trump tries to brand himself as the ultimate celebrity, the reality TV star who knows how to entertain, he can't compete with people who've earned their fame through talent. This isn't just about fame, it's about trust. For years, traditional media has faced skepticism over bias and spin. But when someone like Swift speaks up, people listen. Her words don't sound rehearsed, they feel authentic. She cuts through the noise in ways pundits simply can't. The same goes for comedy shows that highlight absurdities through humor. That's why Trump fails every time he goes up against pop culture. He can complain about Hollywood elites all he wants, but this is a man who's always been obsessed with celebrity. He's claimed to have done more for Black Americans than any president aside from Abraham Lincoln. He's said the Black community supports him because they relate to his persecution. And sure, you'll see supporters wearing his mugshot on a t-shirt, chanting slogans. But this isn't just another celebrity roast. This is a shift in power. Trump could walk away, but we know he won't. Admitting defeat isn't in his nature. If history tells us anything, it's that Trump can't resist a public feud, especially when his ego takes a hit. So what comes next? Another rally full of rants against overrated celebrities? A rushed lawsuit doomed to fail? Or maybe an ill-advised country album? Meanwhile, Swift and her supporters aren't letting this moment go. Because this isn't just a roast, this is a cultural reckoning. A reminder that real influence doesn't just exist in speeches or cable news panels. It lives in the songs, jokes, and voices people actually care about. And once pop culture turns on you, there's no coming back.